Welcome back to the Crimson 15 Podcast. I'm your host, Crimson.
And 15 PCA.
Be sure to check us out over on Twitter at C15 Podcast and a link down below to join the discussion over on Discord. So we have an amazing episode of the Orville.
I loved it.
Seth MacFarlane does it again. The moral questioning where it's hard to say what was right, what was wrong. It's just, woo.
Yep, it's amazing.
It just blown away. He did it again. About a Girl, I think, is still my favorite
But
episode.
this is in the top 5,
it's right
definitely.
There.
Yeah.
It's right there. But admin notes, I am driving right now, so if there's funny noises, it's my car. It's not because we're on somewhere. We're in a vehicle right now. But it starts out, and we see this other ship. I'm like, oh, cool. We get to see a Mocklin ship. Very
smooth.
It has like a bird-like beak. It's cool. I like the way all the ships look.
Like Crim said, it looks like a basket you lift it
Yeah,
up.
like you can lift up the backside of it and
that.
carry it around. So we're like, okay, what's this all about? They're coming onto the ship, and I guess they're doing like a I thought it was gonna be a warp drive.
No, it's a shield test, basically, deflector test.
Deflector test to upgrade the deflectors.
Yeah.
And of course, they meet the ship there, and you see that Bortus kind of knows this other Mocklin guy, and
He's like one of the best engineers on the planet.
And the way that they're talking, you think, okay, there's got to be some type of history here, and then you find out that they used to date.
Yeah.
So I'm like, oh, geez, that's always tough, especially in a professional environment.
Very, very much so. In the very beginning of the episode, Kelly goes on a date with her.
Boyfriend. They were like in 1940s Earth.
1940s Earth, basically. It's like after World War II, or like right around 1945. And he's like saying, well, can you take some time off? She's like, no, I really can't. And all that. And he goes,
she became Ed.
Yeah.
Because that was what the excuses Ed gave her.
Yeah, I'm busy. And she goes, well, come on, I want to do this. And then she starts like, reevaluating the whole relationship because I don't know if this is going to work.
And she kind of insinuates that her job is more important than his.
Yes.
I agree, it is. You are the...
But you don't tell your partner that.
Because you're just a teacher.
Yeah.
That's pretty much what she cheats. She goes, oh, I didn't mean that, but...
Yeah. You and the first time, we're actually kind of the guy like, well, you and Ed, and he started to get a little nifty because he's like... What do you mean want to break it off? And he's like, well, yeah. He goes, well, come on, let's not do that. Let's think about this.
Yeah, she was like, so what do you want in this relationship? I was like, well, we can grow and then maybe one day we might get married and have a family. And she's like, oh, I don't want that.
No. Well, and then she says at the end, I can't lead you on. Because you're leaning into this false hope that I'm not trying to give you here. So she leaves the holodeck, the simulator, and he's like, what the heck?
So you think, well, the thing is, if you don't feel something for someone, you don't.
No, you don't.
But it's kind of, Kelly's kind of being, is she being selfish? Is she being wrong? But again, when it comes to relationships, is it fair to say someone's right or wrong if they don't feel the same way as their partner?
I think if he would have said, oh, we'll just have fun and yucks and all that, but that wasn't the case.
Yeah, but that's kind of screwed up.
It's messed up
wanted
too.
A fling.
Yeah.
It's almost, again, was she dating this guy just so she didn't have feelings for Ed? Oh, I'm with this other guy. I can't be with Ed because I'm with this guy. Was it one of those?
Maybe. I can't say.
Yeah, and we don't know.
Perhaps.
But we kind of we get to they're going to be doing this deflector test. Okay, that's cool. Very science fiction. They're going to do like this new type of shield where it's going to like basically kind of recalibrate itself and everything. Well, that's kind of a cool setup. And they're down in the engineering room and they're setting this all up. And I'm like, oh, how are they going to test it? Oh, they're going to have like a mock little battle.
Yeah.
That was cool.
And before that, one of the engineers made some cupcakes. He's like, I don't want cupcakes.
Yeah, the cupcakes. And then little Orvilles on them.
Yeah.
And I'm like, oh, this is so cool. I want Orville cupcakes. Who wants an Orville cupcake?
Someone's already making them as we speak now, probably.
Engaged tractor beam.
I know, right?
Oh, what's his face? He's such a dummy.
Oh, Dan. He's hilarious. This guy's such a goofball.
And anytime I can see Yamfit, it's cool.
He's working his little arms up on the thing.
Yeah,
It's so cool. I like that. That's so cool.
But they start doing the test and basically like, okay, begin invasive maneuvers because they're being shot at, and of course, he's gonna show off. He's the best pilot.
Yeah,
he's all dodging everything. Well, you gotta let him hit us so we can see. He's like, okay, gonna dumb it down, but he can tell he was kind of like
he was showing off to the Mocklins. That's what he was doing.
I love the way the ships look. The ship battles.
Oh yeah,
it's so cool. It looks so great.
And how they're spinning around and everything. That was so cool.
So they start taking hits, and it's doing some
damage a little bit.
And I'm like, okay, things are going good. The shields are still holding, and then they shoot a torpedo, and then it's so funny because that's like, wait, guys, it's almost like you're play fighting, no hitting in the face.
Yeah.
And he's like, no torpedoes.
And then the torpedo thing hit the bridge too. What are you doing, guys?
And then he goes, okay, remember, I said no torpedoes. Right? Yeah, I said I was right there. Yeah, I know. It's these jerks, why the hell are they shooting torpedoes at us? And it knocks out one of the main deflectors. And Lamar's like, okay, we're calling this off.
Yeah.
And the Mocklin engineer goes, no, the shields will recalibrate. And he's like, I'm not risking everyone on the ship because your test. He's about to call it off, but then the shields recalibrate themselves and they're like 100% again.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a good, they have a
good shit. That's going to help when they go against the Krill and maybe that new race, too.
Yeah, those other dudes.
Shock Tall, yeah.
And so I'm like, oh, that was a cool little sci-fi thing or whatever. And during this whole time, you can kind of see him and Tyler kind of like, oh, he should have put in the security codes. And they're kind of like, getting a little closer. I'm like, their whole race is all male. Like, he's attracted to not only another race, but a
female.
like,
what's going on? A little weird. And then a little bit before that, we skipped because we just saw the episode. They had dinner together. He went to Boris.
Oh yeah, he did go to Boris. I want to get to the end.
I know. I
want to talk about the ending so much.
I'm just trying to lay the groundwork here. Yeah, and they're going. Clyde said, "Don't be rude. We'll talk together." And Clyde is kind of interesting.
So uncomfortable.
Oh, it was. It got a little uncomfortable.
Like, could you imagine having like a serious girlfriend, boyfriend you had, then you come meet my family, and it's all like, remember we used to be together?
And then you tell Topaz, kid, and then we made it, and you have an egg. Okay, you get together and have an egg. Yeah,
what's a relationship? It's a thing before an egg. There you go. Get married first, people.
Yeah. So they're trying to talking, whatever. And I liked how the casual attire looked, too. How that looked.
They have like the
little thing. They almost looks, that might be a new cosplay. Monty Sunday. They look kind of cool. But anyways, we can continue on and start bringing that up.
It's just, and it's a little thing where you can kind of see, because Clyde being the new partner, it's almost like, oh, I get to meet the old partner my husband had.
Yeah.
It's good.
That's a little, definitely.
But Clyde was trying to be cordial, but it's just awkward. But dude, do you have to ignore someone too? I don't know.
No, it's kind of weird. And then funny, they're on the bridge, and then, Malloy being an idiot, he said, do you have to stab each other like you do in Mary? Go, no, you have to give...
You give up a tooth.
And then goes, what happens if you break it? Molly goes, I bet you eat it, right? And he goes, yeah, because I knew it.
You give the tooth to your new partner.
And he bet you he eats it.
And the partner eats it. He's like,
and Malloy guessed it. He goes, yes, I got it. You're such an idiot.
So there's something crazy, right?
Yeah.
But then we kind of get then we'll get to Kelly. See, here's the thing. Kelly kind of tells Ed that she broke it off with her boyfriend.
Oh, and yet Ed just acts like he isn't really, he's so broken up about it, like, yeah, right.
Do you think Ed's going to try to make a move?
Maybe. It's like, oh, that's terrible. Oh, yeah, so sorry. Yeah, sure. Yeah, he probably does that little reflection, like, he's being stupid. That, yeah, sure. You really care. You're so broken about it.
And it's just a complicated thing because they do work well together. But have they gotten over those things, or is it just better that they're separate?
Yeah, see, that's the whole thing. That's going to be a theme throughout the rest of the series.
Then we get to basically like their mess hall, their cafeteria, their tent board, and they're just talking about all the different relationships, and they see it's so you got Lamar, and they're all looking and say, oh, they look at Ed and Kelly, like, and of course they're like, oh, geez, I heard that she broke up with her boyfriend, and then they're like, oh, you're getting all gossipy and everything.
Yeah, and they're basically saying, look, come on, what's funny, the only relationship that seems stable in this whole ship is Isaac and Finn.
Except for, then Isaac's like, Dr. Finn has told me not to be so upfront and talkative about our relationship. I'm like, oh, well, what happened? Always walk around asking people for what's the best sexual position. He's like asking everyone. Because funny. While Isaac's being a dutiful boyfriend, he's trying to do the best he can. Oh, that was see, this episode had a lot of funny little jokes.
Yeah, it did.
But then it ges like super serious. But the jokes are always, the humor and the levity is always part of the show.
Yeah, it is.
And then, Tala's like, why don't they just be together? They look like they're happy. He goes, there's so much sadness in the universe. If you're happy, just do it. Then she starts thinking about, maybe I did feel a little something.
Yeah, because he made some advances towards her.
Yeah, a little bit, kind of a little smile, a little this. It's like, well, maybe it is, Then he ended up just like being in her quarters.
Yeah.
And she's like, what the hell are you doing in here? And you don't just go in someone's room like that. And he's like, I'm sorry I invaded your privacy. It's just, I have something I have to tell you. I'm thinking, what could it possibly be? Yeah. And they go, I'm attracted to you. And then even she's like, what do you mean? How is it even possible a Mocklin can be attracted to a female when your whole race is male?
Yeah, but there's something that happens in their society.
And this is where we get the moral ambiguity here.
Yeah.
Well, see, there's the stigma of people like, coming out as gay, you have to hide it from your family. Well, and this time it's coming out as straight. And how that's shunned by society.
Exactly.
So it's flipped.
Yeah,
but it's just as bad. Regardless either way.
It's all extremes are bad there, yeah.
And I just love that. I love how McFarlane can tell this story, but on the other side.
And it was fascinating. I loved it.
And you can tell he's like, well, I'm sorry I said anything, and did I say something wrong? And then she's like, well, no, it's just a lot to take in. But again, Mocklins are very forward with their relationships and their feelings, and when they do show their feelings, they're almost like super hardcore about it.
Oh yeah,
they're gonna like let you know.
There's no ambiguity there. They're gonna
I like
go
you,
right for
I
it.
hate you, I love you. They're gonna let you know.
Yep.
And then, and you know, they just like, oh, that's kind of weird, because what does that even mean for their people if it's so the whole idea of even being with anyone who isn't male? I mean, like as we learned in About a Girl, they will have an sex change operation to make you male.
Yep.
That's how much they don't like females.
And the thing is, and they also fudge the numbers. They say it doesn't happen that often. It happens more often. They just don't like to talk about it. It's one of those taboo subjects that's just in Mocklin society.
But she asks him, "Oh, why don't you let's take a walk together?" So they're walking, and she's gonna take the simulator. But then we see someone's been watching them. Like, ooh, what's this? Is it Bortis? Is it someone? Is it
Clyden? Who
I also
is it?
thought maybe it might have been his captain. Too.
Yeah.
We don't know what's happening, but she takes him into that 1940s like Earth setting.
Yeah.
And like he was telling her earlier, he's like, "Oh, you must feel lonely too because you're the only Chilean on the ship."
Yeah.
But it's different for like the Mocklin, because his just his sexuality, what he feels attracted to women.
Yeah.
It's not just, oh, you're an outcast. They'll throw you in jail.
Yeah, the thing is, yeah, like you said, the similarities, like on Saleya, even Laura, her family didn't approve it, but it was more like, oh, that's just shameful. Oh, well, but it wasn't like, oh, we're going to shun you from our family.
They weren't going to
difference.
They weren't going to throw her in jail for joining the military.
And her family isn't like that at all. They're all basically all military.
We feel like black sheep.
Yeah, black sheep in Saleya, so.
So this guy is literally, when he opens up to her, and it's almost like,
but it's risky for him to do this.
Super risky. He could not only get, like you said, the shame of the family.
Yeah.
If I would have come out with this, my whole family would be shamed.
Yep.
And they will basically all be like exiled for it.
Oh yeah.
Like he'll go to jail and the family will be exiled. Jeez.
Yeah, that's
just
hardcore.
For being who you are.
I mean, we're talking hardcore fundamentalist stuff, really hardcore.
To the extreme.
Yeah.
And it's bad both ways.
Yeah.
See, it would be bad if he wanted to be with the man and they say, oh no, you can't be homosexual. See, this one, he's being punished for being heterosexual.
Yeah, exactly.
I love it. I love the flip.
But it's so funny though, but they can reproduce with two males. So is it really homosexual in that sense too? It's weird. Like they developed that.
But the on the surface, how
we're just saying,
it.
We're seeing it as from a human, we see it that way, but yeah.
So she takes him to the 1940s Earth and they're walking around.
And that little girl sees her.
There's a cute little scene where a little girl walks in. What's wrong with your head? I'm a Mocklin. He says I'm very forward.
She's like, oh, okay, well, this is my doll. Okay, she's just a little girl. She doesn't know.
He's like, he just basically tells you, I don't care about that.
He goes, what is this simulation? We don't, because they don't have simulations like that. Because all the simulations are going to do with war, battles, not necessarily
pleasure. Walking around where it's like just recreation. I go, she explains it, but he's like, almost like, that's like a waste of time.
Yeah.
Then, like, they see a couple dancing in a window, and he's like, well, what are they doing?
Yeah.
So it's dancing.
He goes, that's not dancing.
That's not dancing. And then, like, I thought he was going to show off.
So I thought something that would be funny.
He did, though. He's like, well, it's more eventful.
Yeah, I bet you they're more lively, and there's probably more, like, body movement and not so slow and, like, regular slow dancing.
Then she's like, oh, I'll show you. And then they get close, and it's kind of like a slow dance, and she's like showing him the steps. It's very sweet. And she's like, why don't you try leading? He's like, well, what are you like? He has no concept of any of this. It's like, you make subtle movements, I make subtle movements, and it's like a back and forth or whatever.
Yeah.
He just goes in. He goes in for the smooch. He just kisses her.
Yeah.
And then he's like, well, was that wrong? She doesn't say anything. She just kisses him back. It's like, oh, they have their own little like
this
moment.
part was funny. Because they're the only person on the ship you don't have to worry about her being forced to anything because she's so strong.
Yeah, she could kick his ass if she had to.
Yeah, so that was never an issue.
But I'm thinking in Talon's mind,
I'm thinking at the time, I'm saying, is this going to be a fling? This can't be long lasting. There's no way.
Unless he leaves his whole race behind. But
then his family would still be shamed.
But here's the thing, though. Just to go on a date, what if you don't like this guy? Then, let's break up. Oh, I know you give up your whole culture and your family and your planet, but...
But again, that could become a stress thing, too, on her.
Yeah.
Like, that's pressure on me now because I have to stay with you. See, there's all these problems that could come up with this situation.
She gets called to Kelly. He's like, oh, we need to talk. Like, she calls him things like, oh, I got to go to work. I'll be back.
Yeah.
And then, you see him, he's walking around, he's like practicing his dance. It's so sweet.
Yeah.
Then Clyden goes into the thing.
It was Clyden who saw him.
Yeah, and Clyden was the one that was in the hallway. And he's like, I know what you are. I'm like, oh, wow, is he going to have like a little fight with him? Or what's gonna go down here? Then we get another kind of funny scene in Kelly's quarters. I guess there's like plant people. He's
Yeah,
like a big
we're
sunflower
raised, I
man.
should know the name. I'm sorry, we don't remember the name. He's someone got he's sentient. He can talk and everything. And he's friends with that teacher. Hey, man, he did a biology thing. We're friends, man.
You
Hey, why
should
don't
be going with him again.
Good.
Give him another chance.
Come on, lay up a little. She's like, oh, please, oh my goodness. She's like, it's none of your business what's between me and,
Yeah.
Cassius. Don't worry about it.
Oh, he's my friend. I know him, man. He really cares. Like, it was like sending your friend.
And they say they snuck him on the ship with some botanists, whatever. She's like, can you get this thing out of here?
It's funny. So, does he have to stay like in a potting plant, or can he actually like move
I don't know.
around?
Another cool looking alien, by the way.
It looks,
So
it looks,
cool.
Yeah, it looks amazing.
My phone's got the different alien races down to a T. They're amazing.
So after they deal with the flower guy, Kelly's like, get him out of here, whatever.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll take care of it. She comes back to the simulator, and she's like, oh, I'm sorry, that took longer than I thought. Then he's not there.
Yeah.
Oh, and she's like, computer, look at him. He's not on board the ship anymore. The F? Did he take a shuttlecraft? Did he get out of
And they
here?
go on these computers. I don't know. The computers have no information.
There's no log of a ship leaving. Then she's like, you know what? She accesses the security thing.
And with their clearance.
The clearance to get the playback. She sees that he's like practicing the dance moves, and she gets that little like, oh, she's being sweet. But then she sees someone enter in, and it's all blurred out. Like, what the F? I'm thinking, because we, the audience, know Clyden walked in there.
Yeah.
Then we see that the voice is all garbled and everything, and it lifts up a freaking one of their weapons, shoots him, and vaporizes him.
Like, oh my goodness, Clyde just killed this guy?
I'm
What?
like, what? I'm like, I know he didn't like the guy, but to kill him?
I think that's a bit extreme.
But again, we know how extreme Mocklin cultures are about
the
things.
thing is, you can't do. The problem is, you can't discount it out of the realm of possibility that he'd do that.
So I'm in my mind is racing. I'm
big
like,
time.
what the heck?
Is that Clyde some secret, guy who takes, that's like I would say the equivalent of like the virtue police in Iran,
Yeah.
that kind of thing, like extremist, he takes out by any means necessary.
Here's so funny. Then they show the footage to the captain of the Mocklin ship, like, oh, sorry, your head engineer's dead. And he's like, what the hell? One of your, then everyone's kind of pointing fingers, but they're trying to do an investigation. What the hell is going on here? And they're talking to Isaac, and it's like, so can we get this thing unencrypted so we can figure it out? It's like, well, we can give it a shot, but whoever did this had to have had some type of knowledge of how these things work. So it's like
pretty advanced. I go, can Clyde do all this? I'm like,
I don't want to say that, oh, Clyden's just like the housewife, but I didn't think he would be able to hack the computers.
not that much, no.
And they're like talking, and then even Mercer's talking to because he knows like, oh, you guys had a relationship with this guy before. Did you have any enemies? Did he anything about his life that someone would have came after him? And Bordis is a little quick to say no.
Yeah.
So we're thinking, did Bordis know about his?
At this point, we don't know, but it's kind of like maybe yes, we're not sure at this point.
And then they're asking, what the hell was he doing in a simulator anyways? And Tala's like, I took him there, and they're like, why? Well, he showed physical attraction towards me, and I thought,
And his captain was like, "That's impossible!"
Because they're so anti-heterosexual,
Yes.
He's like, you said the most disgraceful thing you could possibly say about my officer.
Yeah.
And he straight up is like, tell this woman to shut her mouth because she's a liar. Like he's not going to even entertain the idea that could even be a possibility.
And then Mercer keeps on telling him, "Okay, sit down,
calm
down."
And of course, Tala's a little bit of a hothead. And this is a pretty tense situation because she knows how ostracized he felt and how he felt like he couldn't be his real self and everything. And she goes and kind of starts defending him. They have a little bit of a shouting
Yeah, she
match.
just basically, well, your society was so intolerant and bigoted, it wouldn't be a problem.
And Captain Mercer's like, shut your mouth, go.
Yeah.
You're going to wait in my quarters and I'll talk to you.
Yeah, because he's trying to de-escalate the situation and she's ramping it up at this point. And Mercer's like, just go, And then he pauses, I'm sorry that she said that, and we're going to get to the bottom of this and find out who did
the investigation, we're going to find out who killed him, and then, then I'm thinking at this point, was it the captain? Was it?
Who knows?
Was it, again, I'm like, was it he using a hollow emitter or something to disguise himself? Like, the mystery goes. This is so well written. I was a roller coaster.
I loved it.
A freaking roller coaster.
Well, a tapestry of woven emotions and about different cultures and all this stuff happening. You're like, wow.
So we get Mercer's talking to Tala, like, okay, so what, everything that happened, and she's explaining everything, and she's like, well, he felt, and his plan, like, how's it even a possibility? He's like, well, he told me some of the people like that and what would happen to him.
Yeah.
Then they're like, well,
you should have told us.
You should have told us you were trying to pursue this relationship, but at the same time,
she's like, it's none of your business. But
I thought she was going to throw their relationship in their face, but she doesn't. I thought she was going to, because whose business is it anyways? But even Captain Mercer's like, well, we're going to take you up. You can't investigate this because you're part of it.
Yeah,
but she's like, I promise you, I'm going to figure this out. Then Mercer's like, okay.
Okay, we'll give you a shot. We'll do it.
You gotta try this. And then we get a scene. This
is amazing.
Because she goes to talk to Bortus because she knows that she can feel that he knows something. That he knew about his...
Either that or maybe know what happened. Something. He knows something that she isn't sure what he knows.
And it's funny, it's like in an armory. There's a bunch of weapons on the wall.
Yeah.
So she goes to talk to him and because to Bortus, the fact that he would be attracted to a female, it's disgusting. But like you suggested the worst possible thing about a Mocklin.
Yeah.
That they're so ingrained in their culture.
And basically, he even said that you must have did something. She's like, what? I didn't come on to him first.
You seduced him. You did some type of... Again, the parallels, how someone can... Oh, well, my son couldn't be gay. You must have did something to him. Well, that's how he feels in his heart. That's his business, That's his personal feelings. But they're almost like putting the blame on her. It's like, no, he came up to me.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, sure. Like, it's almost like, you hussy, you seduced him or something. No, he initiated everything.
Very like, we're talking 1950s kind of thinking. It's ridiculous.
Hardcore.
Yeah.
And then we get Tala's got some balls.
Yeah.
She's got balls. Well, I give her the brass balls of the year award.
Well, very strong as everything else, but yes.
She is like, I thought you'd be more understanding and everything they did to your daughter. Whoo, you leave my kids out of it.
Yeah, he's like, you leave now.
He's like, we are done. He almost like, you can see like, if this conversation went a little bit longer, there would have been a little rumble in this room. Because you don't talk about my kid.
No.
Whatever is happening between all this like that, he's almost... See Bortus lose his cool. I was like, I felt a little nervous. Like, damn, girl. You're going to cause more problems than solve them, but you can see that Bortus has something in him. No. He feels something. No. They're, it's Isaac and Malloy are trying to, like, decipher the, whatever the block they put on this thing. So
No, Lamar, sorry.
No, Lamar. Yeah. And then they're like, okay, there's so many layers, and if we mess up one of them, it could actually erase everything. Well, we'll just go one at a time. Then Isaac's like, okay, give me...
But there's a risk here doing this. We could lose everything.
So they are like, okay, we're going to start going one by one. And then they kind of... I like the way that the panel looks. Little blue lines and everything. It's just cool. That's a cool look to it.
Everything's so slick about this show. Gosh.
They decipher it, and lo and behold, it's what we saw. We saw Clyden.
And I'm like, oh my goodness.
I'm like, Clyden didn't like this guy, but to
kill him?
So, of course, they have to go and arrest him. And so he's in the brig. And, I mean... What is this for Bortus? Oh, here's my husband in the freaking brig, and I have to my duties as an officer, and then my husband. It's a mess.
And he promised he wasn't going to try to kill again, and he broke his promise.
That bastard that was the worst part, that he broke a promise.
He broke a promise.
But he's like, yeah, I was in there, and I went to go basically tell him what he did, what he's doing is sick and wrong.
So he's admitting he was there. So,
but he's like, but I didn't kill him though. But that's
weird.
At this moment, I'm like, but. Why would he admit to something,
but not everything?
But not everything, and it's like, oh man.
And even Tala's starting to think that a little bit in her head too. Like, whoa, this doesn't make any sense.
And because then again, that whole suggestion that if he likes women, he's filth. He's nothing. He'd almost like he'd be better off dead. But I wasn't going to kill him. Here's the thing: what would Mocklin Society do to Clyden if he did kill him? Would they even say anything?
You know what?
I don't think
Mocklin Society. He'd be in more trouble with the Union than he would.
Yeah, I think the Mocklin Society would be like, "Oh, you should have brought it to us." But what's done is done. I think that's what they would do.
I think it'd almost be a parallel. What happened on the planet where they do everything by the stars? That kind of. Even though you shot, but the fact that you could be fine is more of the problem that you were born than that doing the crime itself.
Then Captain Mercer, because it was Mercer and Kelly, Tala, and Bortus there. Then Captain Mercer's like, hey, Bortus, if you want to dip out, but he's like, no, this is
my duties.
This is my duties here. And then he's like, oh, can I talk to him like alone? Mm-hmm. And then he straight up asked him, did you kill him? And he's like, no, I didn't. He's like, well, okay, he believes him. It's like, I don't know. As a viewer, I'm like, I don't know. We saw the video evidence, but...
And at this point, even Todd tells him, and when I was saying before, she comes home and says, it doesn't make any sense. Why would he admit being there but not killing him? That doesn't sit right with me. Something's not adding up here.
And then we get this kind of sweet kind of moment, and he's like, well, Topa's coming home from school. Make sure you have his snack ready for him and everything. And it's like super sad because I'm in jail. And he's like, what do I tell him? And it's like... tell him that, he's cared for and he's loved and everything. It's like, that's so sad because why you see the goodness, but he also has that you're going to hate someone to the very core of your heart just because they want to be who they are.
Yeah. See.
But he loves his son, so he's not a bad person.
No.
He just has this bad
But
belief.
remember, he grew up in that society. That's why.
And, you know, then the investigation continues, and then Tala's thinking about, like, well, like, I guess this doesn't make any sense. How could this possibly... again, he had motive, he had opportunity.
Reason.
He had reason to do all this, but it looks like it's coming together a little too easy.
Yeah.
Maybe there's something more to this, and then Malloy's like, oh, when we're going through the Lamar's like, when we're going through the thing, we solved the encryption a little too fast.
Easy, yeah. That it should have been more complicated than that.
Then like, but wait a second, you said he wasn't very good with the engineering, so
yeah, he got maybe first year degree of engineering, Clyden. So how could he have done that?
Then she starts thinking, wait a second, he was so afraid of who he was, maybe, just maybe, he faked it all.
Yeah, I even said that middle thing. Go, maybe he faked it and he's not dead at all. Because I was thinking, because it's all too convenient. And then she goes, "This is the strangest thing on the ship." And they mentioned that things happened in the past when she wasn't there.
One time I was going to be put to death because I humped a statue. It's like, what the hell?
One time I lost my leg because Isaac cut it off.
And then she's like, okay.
We almost crashed the ship because of Boris's porn addiction. Like, okay, that's a little weird.
I like her response was like, okay.
Okay, yeah, that's worse.
I'm not going to delve any deeper into this. I'm going to just believe whatever you're going to tell me. Then she goes to Bortus and she's like basically confronts him again, and she apologizes for basically
because he's the superior officer too,
and to bring his kid into it and everything. That was inappropriate.
Yeah.
But then she's like, "Did you know?" And then he basically tells how he met him and how they fell in love, and he thought this was going to be my mate.
And they were on a Mocklin ship.
Yeah, they were both in the military,
and they were let on some planet, whatever. And he couldn't leave because he was a junior officer, so he had to stand watch. But his mate got to go onto the planet. And basically, the captain felt kind of bad for him. So
he has some shortly.
For a couple hours. So he went in and he confirmed he saw him with a female.
He wanted to surprise him.
And
then he saw him with the female on that planet. Then he thought, for one, finding out the person you love with all your heart and soul is literally like a evil person now because of what he's doing. But you still love him. Yeah. So like all these conflicting emotions, and he hid it all these years.
He didn't say anything to anyone.
Said nothing.
Yeah.
So they go and they're basically re-showing they all go to the simulator, and he's like, this is all simulation.
Yeah.
Then he's like, no way, the computer confirmed that these are actual authentic playbacks. And what if, he went in there with the security codes and he was there because he's the engineer, he's one of the smartest.
Good. He can fake that like they were actually physically there.
Then she's like, well then where is he? She's like, he's still on the ship.
Yeah. And
I'm thinking to myself, dang, so they're going to do like it's the ultimate hide and seek. So they get together, the security crew. We're going to be looking for this guy. You got to use your eyes and ears, and
because our scanners can't find him.
We get to see some other cool little other alien races. We don't know what their races are, but they're on the ship and they're serving.
Oh yeah.
I like the little group of all the security officers. Remember, like in DS9, you would see all those like security officers you never ever see.
Yeah, yeah.
It's like, oh, look at that guy, and there's that
That's
girl.
Cool. This is the first time we've seen them all together.
So they're looking around. It's like, oh man, here we go. Is he hiding in it? We see Jeffries too, but it's really not. But it totally is. It totally is.
I like it.
And they get to the shuttle bay. I'm thinking, he's gonna have to try to leave the ship somehow because they don't have teleporters or anything.
Yeah.
So she gets into one of the shuttle bays and she kind of hears something, and she's like, Tala's like, you're here. I know you're here.
Yeah.
He deactivates the cloak, and she's like, oh, a personal cloak. He's like, no, I just remodulated this ship's cloaking device to be pinpointed.
They're like a lens.
So he's super crazy smart. Yeah. And she's like, you framed a man. Yeah. I know what happened to you was horrible. And what your society's all left up. But you can't send an innocent man to jail.
Doesn't matter how much you think he's a bigot or how much he's,
He's like, he has evil in his heart. Yeah. He's a horrible person. Why not? Well, who cares what happens to him? She's like, no, the law matters. Yeah. I'm doing my job. And she's like, I do care about you. We need to find a different way. But setting Clyden up and sending him off because we're going to have to send him to jail for murder. And there's the moral ambiguities there. Is it okay to set up a quote-unquote bad person?
No.
I don't think it is. See, no. I am in D&D type. I am lawful good.
Yeah, but
I go by the law.
Good. Yeah, neutral.
It's the law. And I don't care how horrible you think Clyden is for his thoughts. He did not.
He has a right to believe that.
You.
He has a right to believe it.
He may be guilty of being a jerk, a bigot, a homophobe,
maybe
or
heterophobe
in this situation, but he does not deserve to be framed for a murder.
Nope.
And again, I bring up the so to make him more human. You're a police detective. This white supremacist guy is being on trial for a murder. You find out he didn't do the murder, but he's a white supremacist piece of garbage. but he did not commit that murder, so he should not be punished for that offense.
No.
Even though he's a piece of garbage racist person.
No, you can't.
But
especially if he has no crime, criminal past.
He just has thought crimes.
Yeah, but the thing it did also hurt Clyden too, because he did try to kill Boris earlier, and that was counting against him too here too. So he had a history.
Yeah, a history of violence and everything.
Yeah.
And she feels horrible because she does have feelings for him, and she does see how horrible it is for a person to have to hide who they are, even to the so afraid of to be who he is, he's willing to set someone up for a murder.
Yeah.
That's how afraid he is of being himself.
Yeah.
Horrible. Yeah. Absolutely horrible.
It's a screwed up situation all the way around.
And then she gives him the option, just request asylum.
Yeah.
Stay on the Orville. We'll take you in.
But he's worried about his family, though.
But he's like, no, I'm going to go back to Mocklin or whatever, and whatever happens to me, it's on you. You don't get to do that. No. That's unfair of him to do that.
It is. It's not. It's your society, not her society. He's doing this. That's your society that's messed up on that regard.
She's like, okay, we're going to the captain. We're turning you in, and and she feels like crap. She feels horrible because she does care about him and what's happening to him. His situation is a wrong situation. Yeah. He shouldn't have to hide himself this way. But then it starts playing like the music and everything, and it's kind of sad. It's that 1940s kind of. We see the Mocklin ship depart, so well, he went over there without any trouble, and...
Yeah. But here's the thing I think is interesting that it's a little bit lost in the episode for some people, I'm sure, that watch this. When they're talking together, they literally, Captain Mercer saying, boy, there's so much differences between us and Mocklin. I don't know if this relationship's going to work.
Yeah, because Kelly and Mercer are kind of having a drink after all this. Like, oh, man.
They're more and more learning about Mocklin, the worse it gets.
Because the Mocklins have weapons, they have ships, they have all these things. But this is the way I see it. Who are we to go into their culture and say, you did everything wrong, do it our way?
Yeah. See, then we were talking about this in the car. See, I'll make a problem with the Federation. All the planets of the Federation seem to be pretty much in the similar kind of moral code. Not this. It's more realistic, though.
Yeah, because there would be so many differences. Yeah. But like in the Klingons, they have lots of laws.
But they're not part of the Federation.
Yeah, they're just
they kind of use them. See, Mocklin is part of the Union.
The Union, so that's a tough sell because the way I would have to deal with it is as long as they only oppose their laws and their beliefs on their own people.
But see, now it's starting to bleed into his crewmates now when this situation. Tala got mixed up in all this. And that's not fair either. And I think he also brings up a question, is they going to come to a head? See, is that going to happen later on in the series where the Mocklins become enemies with the Union? Is that going to happen?
Because just like how Bortus kind of thought Tala kind of put the moves on him, and like they're going to be like, this is what happens when we interact with other species and stuff like that. It's going to ruin our ways and destroy our cultural heritage. I can see that happening.
That's what I said. Yeah, that could be a thing.
There's so many strings. There's so many things that they set up.
Yeah.
And I think Murphy does a super good job of making that this universe it feels lived in. It feels real.
Oh yeah, definitely.
But during this whole little conversation with Mercer and Kelly, Cassius walks up, and then it's like, well, see you on the bridge. I'll go talk to your ex.
Yeah.
He's been trying to like hit her up on her comms.
He's paging like 1,000 times.
Yeah, but he's upset, so they have their little talk, and then he's like, well, I kind of don't want it to end this way, but she's like, it's not going to work out, and he's gonna transfer.
Yeah, he transfers another shit.
He has like a head of educational job somewhere else. Yeah. So instead of just being a regular teacher, so he gets to move his career forward.
So it's a good thing for him too. He's not just going to be a teacher again.
So this is how, even though it's upsetting for him, but this is how a relationship should end. Not someone being killed or stabbed or whatever. Yeah. See, I'll show you that the difference between like a human breakup and how.
But at the same time, it wasn't right to frame Clyden either. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I don't think Tala's seen that side of it. That's not right either.
But she did tell him that.
Yeah.
Again, the law, that's what I'm going to do. I'm doing my job. And like I said, she has to abide by planetary union law and what she feels is right. Yeah. But just because, again, the punishment he's going to get is going to be more severe than it should be.
Yeah.
He should be more punished for the faking the murder.
Yes.
Than being.
No, I don't think they'll even care about that. Which is so crazy.
Then we get this scene where I can see how she feels. Clyden's like, hey, Tala, thanks for the hookup. You saved my butt. And then she feels like crap because she knows in his heart he hates him for what he is.
Yeah.
She, like I said, it'd be like getting that white supremacist off of a murder you didn't commit, but you still know he's this horrible white supremacist.
Yeah.
So how do you feel about that?
You're not going to feel good about it.
You're not going to feel good at all.
No.
And she lays into him.
Yeah.
Damn, Tala's like, she
goes, I owe you one. And she goes, you owe me something in favor? If we see each other in the hallway, don't even talk to me. And like, Clyden's like, why? Well, what's the problem? Like, he can't understand it. His thinking is so arcanic about this. He doesn't understand why she'd be upset about it.
Yeah, and she's even, she's staring out to the stars and everything, and it's the same. Is that the same place where she met him before they went to the thing? So she's kind of like having those same kind of like nostalgic feelings, and she lays it on the line.
Yeah.
And then Clyden just okay, and he walks away.
Yeah.
And you can see she's all choked up. She's crying and everything. Because she knows she did the right thing, but did she do the right thing in her own heart? Yeah. But sending Clyden down the river as a murderer?
But the thing is, you didn't have to do that. He could have just ran away. He could have just did that,
and he also could have claimed asylum.
Yeah, you didn't have to frame Clyden either. So you have to... I see that part, too. That wasn't right.
And then we get... Bortus is looking out at the same stars because he loved him.
Yeah.
That was like his first love, so it's going to always affect him.
And he was willing to keep quiet about it. Boris won't see. Boris has realized to put love even beyond his traditions of his society.
He wasn't
Clyden's not. Clyden doesn't care.
And that was Clyden's like, I didn't earlier when he was like, I wasn't gonna kill him, but I was gonna turn him in.
Yeah.
And even Boris is like, damn. But that's his mate now. They're together, and remember their relationship was already in a rocky spot.
Yeah, and it started getting better. Now it's gonna be rocky again. It's like, are they gonna last? I don't know.
The music's playing. It's beautiful and it's sadness.
Oh, that music from the 40s, yeah.
And then they look at each other and they don't say anything. And you just get that feeling of, he knows their traditions is their strength. What they believe in, that's what kept them alive on their hostile planet.
But Boris is willing to be flexible.
A little flexible.
If it comes to love, he understands. You can't... Well, the heart wants what the heart wants,
And here's a thing. I don't know if this is done for like artistic effect or if this is really how it went down. They bring him to the courtroom. He doesn't say a word, and they had to make a judgment.
Yeah.
Like they weren't even willing to hear anything he had to say.
No.
So they're gonna banish his whole family and everything.
Probably.
Oh man, that's messed up.
Yeah, it is.
Like they didn't say nothing. He just slams the gavel down, and he's at the look of that's
what it is.
And then it just kind of ends with everyone kind of having that long stare, no words, no dialogue.
He didn't need it.
He didn't need any of it. She walks out of the...
For about 5 minutes, it was amazing.
Here's I think, the artistic of this. Here's the ready room where we're all supposed to sit down and have a dialogue and come to a conclusion without fighting, without someone being abused or taken advantage of.
You get none of
this room is what it's supposed to represent, where we can all sit at the same table. Table's empty, the lights are dark.
Because it's the opposite of
what's happening. Damn it, Seth MacFarlane, that's so beautiful. And she just walks out of the room, back into the light. And then it closes the doors. Beautiful.
And she's got to feel like crap, and nothing's going to happen to her. She's going to be fine. Yeah. Nothing, because she's in the union. It's fine.
She just has a broken heart.
Yeah, that's it. He could be killed or be thrown in jail for the rest of his life.
Again, what if this whole thrown in jail for the rest of your life is a lie and they just kill him?
Oh, gosh.
An execution.
He's such a brilliant engineer. It's crazy.
We asked the audience here. We always get amazing comments. I'm looking forward to the comments.
Oh, this is going to be exciting. I'm excited. This episode was amazing.
So all I know, people were complaining about the relationship stuff. This is another relationship episode.
But this is way more.
The moral questioning here. Tala did the right thing. It wasn't wrong to set up a man, even though you can disagree with everything their culture is. You don't frame a man for murder.
No.
Clyden has that hatred in his heart, but he was raised a certain way to believe this one way. I'd be like, if we went to an alien race and they're like, what do you mean you have, you integrate different races of your people, you should all be separate. And we'd be like, what are you talking about? That's nuts. But to them, that could be different. Who are we to say we're superior than your race?
Well, it made it comic because there was another alien involved. Yeah. It had nothing to do with that culture. See, it's like I said, it's starting to approach onto the Union more and more.
Yeah.
It's getting more pronounced. That's why Mercer's like, I don't know if this is going to work in the long run.
I asked our audience here, do you think this is enough grounds for the Union to maybe break ties with Mocklin?
I don't think they will because they're going to need him. But what happens if, say, like the Krill needed help with the Union with the Choctaw, and all of a sudden the Krill don't become such a threat anymore? Then will they break ties with the Mocklins? They won't need them.
This is great sci-fi.
My goodness, I can go on forever with this.
Man, it's so multifaceted. And then why didn't he just take the freaking asylum?
He didn't have to frame.
Did he want to make Tala feel like garbage? Is that what he's like? I'm gonna make you feel bad.
Yeah.
Oh man. But here's another thing too. Why do I have to keep running and hiding?
Yeah.
It would have been better. That's awful. It's a terrible.
He should never have been in that situation. No. But
he should be able to be whoever the hell he wants to be, as long as consenting, mature adults do whatever the hell you want to do. As long as you're not forcing anyone or encroaching on anyone else, do what you want.
Though it's kind of funny. I know this is the kind of superficial, dumb question because this is a really interesting conversation we're having. Do you think if he did have sex with her, would he still get an egg?
Is that possible? Here's the thing, because There has to be some type of bodily fluid transfer?
Yeah, exactly. Would she give up it? Would he still be able to get an egg, or would she get pregnant?
Could she get pregnant?
I don't know. I don't know. It's a stupid question. I just thought of that.
These are the questions we must answer.
Yeah.
No, it's funny. Maybe they've never interacted with another species that way, but it's had to have happened. But maybe they're so close-minded they hide all that kind of stuff.
Yeah, because the same thing. There is that female Marklin there, the great philosopher.
Yeah, great. She was the author who wrote all those books.
Yeah, special quotes.
And they still didn't like her.
No.
Even though they value that the Witten.
I wonder if they value her now though. Probably not.
Man, there are some moral questions here. I think everything went down the way it should have. Doesn't mean I have to feel good about it.
No.
No one should have to be forced into making such extreme answers to a problem that's not a problem.
No, it's not.
But he should have just left his planet. But again, should someone have to leave their freaking planet just to be who they are?
Yeah, no. Wouldn't be so much if he didn't have a family. That would have been so much.
Yeah, because he talked about his brother and everything.
Yeah.
And then he bring up another guy. I think it was a very clean on type quote. He's like, "A friendship isn't a true friendship till you come to your friend in despair."
Yeah.
And he's like, "I'm coming to you in despair, Tala. Let me go. Just let me sneak out." And then she's like, you can see it's breaking her. She's like, "No, I take an oath. I'm security. I'm supposed to follow the law, and he's not guilty of that murder."
I might not Clyde him, but that doesn't mean he should go to jail for what for that because he didn't do anything.
Man, the comments are going to be good. I can't wait to read your guys' comments. And we have a couple of commenters who like to write big, long posts.
Oh, this is going to be long.
I can see there's going to be 2 or 3 really big, long, super long posts.
The fun episode a couple weeks ago was like an hour long. I'm assuming that podcast is going to be an hour and a half, 2 hours.
Here's the thing. If we get so many comments, I kind of like the hour-long discussions, but if it's good discussion, we're going to do it. It's that good.
Definitely.
If this show was bad, and it was terrible, we could not have these long conversations.
Oh, no, we couldn't even close.
It wouldn't be possible.
No.
We'd have to be making things up, and there's nothing.
There's nothing to make up. There's more. I'm probably not even covering everything, all the different things thinking in my head that could have happened here. It's just like amazing and incredible.
Good stuff. Hey, they got a new deflector.
That could help. That could help when they fight the Krill now.
But yeah, definitely looking forward to the comments. I mean, anything else that stood out to you? I mean, the overarching conflict kind of overshadows everything, but there was a little moment.
But it's so weird about how is he going to escape?
He's probably going to wait till he docks somewhere, then
maybe.
sneak out.
But that's wow.
But he's desperate. He's desperate.
Yeah, that's true.
If you were going to be jailed just because who you are, would you be as desperate as this?
Of course.
Of course. You can't blame him. No. But to frame someone, he should have looked for a diplomatic
solution. That's what I want him to do. But again, that's what makes it even... Because that's what McFarlane does. It's so ambiguous. What can you say? You can't say, well, this is the right way and this is totally the right way. No, they both have merit.
And here's the thing. The hatred in Clyden's heart for the way he wants to be is just as bad and horrible as his hatred for Clyden for hating. Like, you completed the circle of hate.
Yeah.
You hated him just as much back. So is your hatred more justified than his hatred?
Yeah.
See, it's awful. It's awful and it's horrible. Everyone's wrong. Everyone's right, and that's what's great.
I think in this one, like I said, the one with Boris's porn addiction, it kind of made me lose a little bit of respect. I've gained way more respect for Boris in this.
Boris is a multifaceted dude.
Yeah, because he realized some love is more important than what our traditions are.
He could have turned him in right then and there.
Yeah, and it would have. Then this one even came to this. He already been gone.
But Boris shows his heart.
Yeah.
And then he's thinking everything happened with his daughter and his son.
Yeah, and also, like, you should have realized, shouldn't even gone on that ship knowing there's going to be females on it. But again, what are you supposed to do? Not do it, It
was his job, and he's the smartest engineer, and he's going to set this up. Maybe he also saw this as an opportunity. Okay, this is my plan to escape.
Yeah.
And maybe he had it all set up from the beginning.
That's true, too.
Again, Tala, her in general, little heavy-handed with her feelings, but she's not wrong.
No.
Can you tell someone that their feelings are wrong?
No, you can't. That's
that's the way she feels, and she's gonna let you.
And this is so sad because
Alara would not have acted this way.
Oh no. But also with Tala, that's a great point. Also with Tala, you can see it like, okay, her family being the black sheep, they probably would have accepted him easily.
Yeah.
Because they were outcasts, they like that whole kind of thing. So it's like there was no problem on her end. That's what makes it even more tragic. It was all on his society, his end.
And I think he just took extreme answers to a problem. He thought that I have to extreme solutions for extreme problems, and
this is why you wish, God, why couldn't you use that cloaking device when you went to the thing, the simulator, so no one would have saw you.
But it was like that. It was a big setup to get him to set him up, because that's why he went to Bortus's room, to get him pissed off enough.
Yeah.
To get him to like, oh, he's gonna spy on me and stuff. That's so crazy. And just I'm going to give him a piece of my mind. Clyde, why do you care? Like, I have to confront you. I hate people like that. Why are you going to be like that?
Because he's a fundamentalist in his society.
So I'm going to let you know how I feel. Okay, keep it to yourself. Who cares? He's not affecting you in any way. His relationship with Tala would have had nothing to do. Again, but maybe, was he using Tala?
I think he really did care for her. I think maybe he was trying to sit up, but then he don't actually have feelings. The way he's looking at her, you know when a guy looks at her, you can kind of tell. And she could tell too, like, why is he looking at me like that? Because he had feelings for her.
But yeah, another key hallmark episode. It goes into the Ring of Hall of Fame.
The top 5
of great episodes, and this is boom right up there.
And I'm going to say this, and I'll be honest, guys. You cannot tell me the second season, especially early on, of DS9 and Next Generation were this good. They weren't. They got good later.
Oh yeah, later.
But no, amazing, better, but no.
Right out the gate, they've been doing. There's a couple of slip-ups, but they've been.
But their slip-ups are still late. They're still good.
Yeah.
Even McFarlane said, "I made the show way better than it had to be," but thank goodness you did, and keep doing it.
Yeah, so make sure you let people know. Leave comments so they can be for the comments video.
We'll be next Wednesday.
Then the conversation, because here's the thing. I kind of have all my feelings, but I love reading your comments from everybody, because then I get to think different ways about things. And I think that's awesome. Even if I disagree, I got to see other points of view. And that's what makes, I keep saying it, that's what makes sci-fi so amazing. It allows us to question ourselves, our viewpoints, our beliefs, our core values, and what really matters in the end.
Well, also, the only thing I will say is I kind of wanted a little scene with Isaac and Finn. Just a little bit.
Yeah,
just
there's a little joke.
Yeah, but she wasn't in the episode, though. But I just wanted a little bit of that.
Yeah, that should be the poll question. What's the best position? No.
That was hilarious.
It's just, man, there's so many gray areas. Everything's right, everything's wrong, everything's gray.
I wonder, it's funny they didn't show the captain again after you left the ready room. Like, it would have been funny if he would have said, like, I don't know what to think. I mean, wow.
But they're so hardcore and ingrained into their whole being.
Yeah.
You know, he gets what he deserves.
Yeah.
Ugh, unbelievable.
Went from defending him to now gets what he deserves. Well, how funny that changed because his sexual preferences. That's great. That's terrible.
That's true for some people.
Yeah, no.
As soon as you find out something about someone and you don't agree with it, then all of a sudden they're nothing to you.
Oh yeah.
Oh, first you were saying he was this great, amazing engineer, and you must have did something to him, and two, I don't care about him.
Yeah.
But yeah, that's just.
There's a great EC comic that does that too, to deal with someone or they hate Jewish people, because there was a comic back in the 50s. And then they found out the guy who hated it was Jewish, and all his friends turned on him. Well, I'm the same guy, but see how stupid
Doesn't matter.
Doesn't matter.
As soon as they find out that he was attracted to females, he is nothing.
No, he's nothing.
He's hetero, nothing. He is absolutely garbage. Not only is he garbage, his whole bloodline and his family is garbage.
Yeah.
Oh, that's a hardcore.
Oh,
planet.
it is. It is insane. That is insane.
But yeah, can't wait to get to the comments, guys. You guys are gonna be great. It's gonna be a lot.
Yeah,
and we're gonna
follow us on Discord. We'll have the link up for that.
There's a link in the description for the Discord. We can do discussions there. So we'll take comments from the Discord and from the YouTube video.
If you guys do
that. Either way, we'll look at
that's a good idea, by the way.
But yeah, thanks for watching. I've been your host, Crimson Sin.
And 15 PCA.
Catch you guys next
week.
week.
See you later. Bye.
Crimson Sin here. Thanks for watching, and be sure to like, sub, and share. Also, for the most up-to-date information about the podcast, follow us on Twitter at C15 Podcast.